When dieting, the weekend for a lot of people can be where things fall off. I want to talk about all the different tips and strategies that I found really helpful for me that I'm sure can help you. What's good, YouTube? And welcome back to the channel, The Last Natty. Checking in. In my life, I've dieted multiple times, but on 3 occasions where I've really leaned down. 2 for a bodybuilding show, and for the 3rd time was this year, getting ready for the wedding. I wanted to get in the best shape of my life for what turned out to be the most special and magical day of my life. When dieting, I find Monday to Fridays very easy to stay on track. However, the weekend for a lot of people can be where things fall off. Weekends are usually a time where people have a lot of social events, a lot more temptations, and getting in the best shape of my life for the wedding, there were a lot of social events. I remember we had our hucks, catching up with our vendors. Some of them wanted to meet at cafes and restaurants. I had birthdays throughout the build up. We had different type of celebrations. Even just having quality time with my wife and having nights in where one of our things that we love to do is cook together. So without a doubt, it can definitely be hard to stay on track of your diet and your goals, especially during the weekend. With that said, I want to talk about all the different tips and strategies that I find really helpful for me that I'm sure can help you to be able to stick on top of your goals, but also have that nice balance of being able to engage in social events. In this video here, what I've recorded is, this is a Saturday night. This is something that I did quite often with my fiance at the time. We would love cooking in together, and one of our favorite things to cook was hamburgers and hot chips. So one of the strategies I would definitely recommend is that making sure that if you're gonna cook things at home and you wanna enjoy some tasty meals, make smart choices with what you're choosing. So for example, with our burgers, with our minced meat, we went and chose the really extra lean minced meat. When we chose our cheese, we got the very light cheese. Some of our dressings, we just kept it very simple. We just got a light tomato relish kind of dressing, low in calories. We had lettuce, we had a bit of avocado. All we did with our potatoes is just slice them up, some seasoning, some salt, some pepper. I think my wife, as you can see, she's the one cooking. To be fair, in this video, you will see my wife cooking. I'll give my wife full credit here. She's the cook, I'm the helper. I clean up. Low calorie seasonings, even stuff like oregano, lemon. Part of our burgers and chips, I made a salad. I'm Greek, so we put a lot of olive oil in our food. In this salad, no olive oil. Don't put any of that olive oil in. Olive oil is very good for our endocrine system and it's a great type of healthy fat, but olive oil can add up a lot of calories. So in this salad, it's just fresh vegetables. With our potatoes, we put them in our air fryer. No oils, no dressings. And then with our patties, we just chuck them in the grill. You can have some really tasty foods, but the way you cook them and the way you season them and the grade of kind of meat that you're choosing to use can make a big difference when it comes to homemade meals. Now, when it comes to going out, some of my favorite strategies includes having more of my calories, saving my calories later for the day. Usually when you go out to a restaurant, usually the foods are gonna be high in carbohydrates and high in fats. And particularly in fats, as we know, fats has more calories than the other 2 macronutrients. So you wanna try and save your calories for later in the day. Now, I'm not saying skip meals or starve yourself, but try to have your foods from the morning and early in the afternoon. Try to make those meals predominantly foods that are high in protein, because that's gonna keep you fuller for longer, and vegetables. Vegetables are a great food source which are low in calories, but you can eat a lot of to keep fuller. So then I have my more calories up my sleeve, so that way if I go out to dinner, I can enjoy and I don't have to worry too much about how much calories is in those meals. I would definitely not recommend starving yourself throughout the day. By you starving yourself and not getting any protein in, well, that's gonna really impact ability to maintain muscle. And when you're in a fat loss phase, in a dieting phase, your body is very vulnerable to losing muscle. So that's the last thing you want to do, is just stop eating and limiting what we're eating, especially protein. More likely than not, you're gonna get to that restaurant absolutely starving, and then it's gonna be much harder to control and make smart food choices and choose some healthy options or have a bit of moderation. It's not gonna work. That's why it's very important. Do not starve yourself. Eat throughout the day, but just make them more protein-based meals and veggie-based meals. Save the carbohydrates and the fats for late in the night. One strategy me and my wife did a lot when going out to restaurants is that sometimes if we didn't choose the restaurant, or if we did choose, we would look at the menu. We would almost pre-plan and think, all right, what am I gonna order? What are some good choices here? Another strategy that me and my wife did quite a lot when we went out to social events and we had to go to restaurants, we would order fish. Depending on the type of fish, they can be usually low in calories, especially a white fish such as a barramundi, and especially if it's cooked in the oven, even better, low in calories. I would always ask for whatever I ordered, whether it was a steak, whether it was a fish, I would ask, can you please cook it with no oil and no butter? Most restaurants are gonna be able to do that. Don't be embarrassed by asking. Believe me, I've done this for years. Now I don't even care. They may look at you a little funny, but at the end of the day, you're the one who's trying to make progress. You're the ones who's trying to achieve your health goals. So asking for no oil, no butter, no dressing, no sauces. That's one strategy that I use. I'm not the biggest soft drink fan, but there would be times during the dieting phase, we naturally get cravings. So I would ask to have a Coke Zero. You get to have that taste of a soda, but if you compare it to a Coke, it's gonna have a lot more calories in that one. Diet drinks can be a great way to stay on track, but still enjoy yourself when you go out. Now, sometimes going out with my wife, we want a dessert. Moderation. Moderation is massive. Do not fall in the trap of thinking I have a bite of a cake. Oh well, F it all. I'm just gonna now binge and go crazy. Just because you've had one bite or you had maybe half a piece of dessert sharing with someone, believe me, that is not gonna throw off your progress, especially if you've implemented some of the other strategies that we just talked about and you, for example, you saved your calories. Sharing a piece of dessert between you and your partner or sharing it between a few people, that was something that was massive that I did when getting ready for my wedding. If you are having cravings and you just tell yourself, no, 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 and you don't meet that sweet tooth in some shape, way, or form, that's when binging occurs. And that is when you really can set your progress back. It is much better. Have a bite of dessert, have that chocolate bar. When you go with the mindset of, I'm gonna have a little bit and that's it, that will set you up for more success as opposed to, oh, I'm not gonna eat anything, I'm not gonna eat anything, I'm not gonna eat anything, and then you have one and you're like, oh, now I'm gonna just binge. Moderation is key. I get it, it can be hard. It's not the most easiest thing, especially early on in your fat loss journey. But I have found these strategies so helpful, and I bet you if you can incorporate a few of them, I really feel confident that can help you with your weight loss journey. And what's also really important is that, let's say even with all these tips I've given you, you had a night where you know you probably ate a little bit much more than you should have. That's okay. It's a new day. We reset, we start fresh, and we keep going. Maybe your bad night threw you off, maybe 1 or 2 days, push you 1 or 2 days back, but there's 1 or 2 days in the future to work towards. We can get back into it. So do not then throw in the towel, reset, it's a brand new day. Focus on that and moving forward. We can't change the past.
Yesterday
It's called the
is
past
history.
for a reason. It's behind us, right? All we can do is reflect and think about, okay, what could I do so that doesn't happen again? What can I do today to make sure that I can keep moving forward and stay on top of my goals? I used to be that person where I used to get almost anxious going out to different places to eat. I used to shut myself away. I would avoid going to social situations if I could. I did that for many years, and I just don't think that's the best way to do life. I'm 31 now. Why not be able to engage in social events, enjoy some foods and different restaurants and different social events, but still achieve your goals? It's doable. If I feel like if I can do it, there's no reason why you can't either. So hope you're able to take some of these strategies and implement them into your daily routines and help you achieve your health and fitness goals, especially if it's a weight loss or fat loss goal. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys back here, Stergiou Fitness, the last natty checking out. See you guys.